At RealCraft, one of our guiding principles is don't make something unless it is both necessary and useful. But if it is both necessary and useful, don't hesitate to also make it beautiful. We didn't come up with this, although we wish we did. This maxim is actually attributed to a community called the Shakers. But who are the Shakers, and what do they have to do with woodworking? Keep watching to find out. The United Society of Believers in Christ's Second Appearing, also known as the Shakers, were a small religious sect that originated in England in 1774. At its height, the Shakers had about 6,000 members in states from Maine to Kentucky. Today, there are only 3 members of the Shakers left, which means the movement is in danger of dying out. But what may surprise you is how this small community has had such a big impact on American architecture and furniture and woodworking. Shakers believed in utopian communal living and in separating themselves from the rest of the community in order to live a more virtuous life. So they were completely self-sufficient. They grew their own food, made their own tools, and built their own furniture and buildings. They were also really socially progressive, and women actually held leadership roles. Think of them as sort of like back to the land hippies, only a lot more straight-laced and clean-cut. Shakers also believed that working on everyday tasks could itself be an act of worship. So they were dedicated to mastering whatever craft they attempted. This made their products of unusually high quality. And because they made their own tools, they're also credited with many innovative inventions, including a no-kill mouse trap, a circular saw, condensed milk, a prototype for a washing machine, and even the clothespin. So now that you know a little bit more about the Shakers, let's talk about their furniture and woodworking design principles. Shaker wood products developed a reputation for unsurpassed quality and minimalist design, which was really different from the ornamental styles popular for much of the 18th and 19th centuries. But Shakers weren't using minimalist designs just to be trendy. They actually had a different reason for this. It's because they believed that ornamentation encouraged the sin of pride. Shakers also cared a lot about the principle of honesty. According to their philosophy, a technically deceitful action, like using a veneer or other ornamentation, simply wasn't allowed. This is also why the Shakers used solid wood. And while other furniture makers might have used imported woods, the Shakers were unique in that they used domestic woods like maple, pine, and cherry. Because Shakers didn't earn wages, they had to find ways of supporting themselves, so they sold surplus goods to those outside their community. By the 1860s, Shakers had become famous for one product in particular, their chairs. These famous chairs featured turned posts, ladder backs, and woven seats. According to the Metropolitan Museum of Art, Shaker chairs were simplified versions of a centuries-old design that remained popular in part because the component parts were comparatively quick and easy to produce. Our Shaker-style doors continue in the tradition of using genuine materials and a form-following function. We make sliding, swinging, and entry Shaker-style doors. They're all made with solid wood using mortise and tenon joinery. The main way in which they differ is the number of panels on the door face, as well as whether you opt for flat panels or tongue and groove panels. Just like the Shakers themselves, our goal when crafting these doors is to make an item that's functional, but also beautiful in an understated way, and to showcase the beauty of natural materials and solid wood. Shaker-style doors are best sellers at RealCraft because their simplicity makes them super versatile. Obviously, they work really well in traditional or historic homes. If you choose them in a lighter wood like maple or ash, or have them painted white, They look really nice in coastal decor schemes as well. They work well for Scandinavian minimalist design, and they can even add grounding to a more eclectic or bohemian space. Where we wouldn't recommend them would be super modern spaces or someplace very industrial. They're just too obviously from a different time. But overall, shaker doors work in almost every decor style and in almost every decade or theme. Now that you know more about the origins and features of the shaker design style, we hope you'll incorporate it into your space, whether through doors, cabinetry, or even chairs. It's a super classic, timeless style that truly expresses a heartfelt commitment to craftsmanship. You can shop our collection of shaker doors at the link in our bio. And don't forget to subscribe and like the video if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.